Here we go. Trying to think. Amortization tables sometimes are called something else. I'll try to think of it and remind you. But amortization tables show the breakdown. Okay. Show the breakdown of a loan, right? And the payments themselves. Although these can be easily be accessed online, it is important to know how they work. And so here's our first example. Jamal purchased a vehicle for $12,000. Let's say he had to borrow 10. What happened? If the vehicle is 12 and you borrowed 10, there was a $2,000 down payment. I will be very specific with that, by the way. Okay. But if you need to borrow, this is your loan, right? This amount right here is the loan we're after. That's really the number you want to focus on in this case. At 4.25% over 3 years, calculate the amortization table below. We will calculate the monthly payment first. Okay, so let's do that. Payment, if you remember, is 10,000, or like we'll go 12,000 minus 2,000. Okay, the car minus the down, which is 10. And we'll multiply that by a table rate over 1,000. Where's this table found? Page 32. So I'm just going to go get it. Maybe you go get it as well. 2969. I got that from page 32. Page 32. I got that table. Okay. And so we go 10,000 times 2969 divided by 1,000. And what do you get there? I'm just going to line mine up here. You get 296.90 per month. Okay. This payment does not change. Once you figure out your payment, it finds its way into your amortization tables right here under the monthly payment column. So let's go ahead and write that down. 296.90. 296.90. And 296.90. Make sure you have a dollar sign. The province, if you miss even $1 sign, you lose half a mark. Okay, so make sure you, if you want full marks, just have dollar signs everywhere. Do you remember when we found lowercase? This is lowercase I. That's the interest paid on the first month. And then there's a certain amount that goes towards the principal. We call that lowercase p. So this is your payment. You can go PMT if you want. PMT, I, lowercase p, and then this is your unpaid balance as we go along. Okay. How do you find lowercase I? This is how you find it. It's basically loan times interest rate divided by 100. All of that divided by 12. Okay. And how do you find the principal once you have the interest? I'll just put that in here. We just go payment minus I. And here we go. Now we're ready to start. So for the first month, guys, like what's going to happen is we're going to make a breakdown every single month what's happening in the background. Okay, this is actually what happens. So you take, to find I, we take our loan, which is what? At the very beginning, it's 10,000. Okay, we multiply by the interest rate divided by 100. What's our interest rate right now? 4.25%. If you divide that by 100, you get 0.0425. Okay? You cannot just keep percentages as they are, okay? You need to convert them. So I take that number, instead of, right, like just showing how I divide, I'm just gonna write it in. That's my interest rate. That interest rate doesn't change either. And then you go divide it by 12. And let's figure out what that is. So grab your calculators. It's good to follow along, right? 10,000 multiplied by 0.0425 divided by 12. You can actually do it in one shot if you like. And you get, so you have to be careful with rounding, that's 35.42. Okay? The 1 bumps to a 2 there. So write that in. So on your first payment of $296.90, this much the bank will get. Okay, they take it every month. They don't wait until the loan is finished, right? They take it every month or every 2 weeks, whatever you make your payments. And then this part here, you go payment, right? This box is found by taking your payment, $296.90, and subtracting $35.42 from it. Sorry, is that small or what? Let me see here. What can I do for you guys? There. So you subtract, and maybe watch what I do with my calculator, because I actually don't clear my screen very often. I just leave it. So that means that after your payment of $296, this much will go towards actually paying off your loan. Okay. Just watch where my fingers are. These two numbers here, these ones here, always add up to your payment. Okay, guys, that you have to remember that. So we take the 261.48, and I just go like this. And subtract it. That's how I show it. I may not do that on every table, but for you, I'm showing you what I'm doing. I'm taking this number, I'm subtracting it from what I owe. So watch what I do. I just go minus 10,000, just like that. I know it's a negative number. I don't fall for it. I know it's 9,738.52. Okay. So there's your first month. At the end of the first month, you'll be owing the bank this much. Have you done these in grade 11? Yeah, rings a bell, right? Okay, so we take this. The process repeats itself. So we take that number with us here and just go 9738.52. We multiply it by the same interest rate. The interest rate does not change once you figure out what it is. And we divide it by 12. So I'll go 9738.52 times 0.0425, and we divide that by 12. It's 34.49. It should be a little less, right? Because you owe them less. So second month, if this number isn't going down, even by a little bit, you've made a mistake. And then what goes in here? Again, you take your payment, which never changes, and you just subtract the interest you've paid in the second month. So here we go. It's 262.41. And this should naturally go up a little bit. Your principal portion goes up a little bit. Because if this goes down, this has to go up because combined, they always give you back your payment, right? So what do we do with this number? Well, we take that off our previous unpaid balance. And there you have it, 9, 4, 7, 6, 11. It's really this big number here, the one you're after, okay? One more time, shall we? Take it with you again. I don't know how many months you did last year. I would think that no more than 3 months. So here we go. Does it matter that I have a negative here? It doesn't really affect, but maybe some of you won't like it. So I'll just retype it. Oops. Five, 6. And then I take my payment again, 296.90 minus 33.56. That's 263.34. We take that away. $92,127.77. So at the end of the third month, you owe the bank $9,212.77. And I left it for now because I mean, you technically were supposed to have seen this last year. Usually, I'll tell you this, usually I don't go past 2 months because I haven't seen the province go past 2 months. But my example will do 3 just in case, right? And I will expect you to do it on my quizzes and whatnot, but usually that's as far as it goes. Okay. Now, what does it ask next here? How much did you pay in total over 3 months? Okay. This is how much you paid. You made 3 payments of 296.90, right? These 3 payments is what you paid over 3 months. And that is 890.70. Okay. You've paid the bank this over 3 months so far. How much interest did you pay over 3 months? Well, I'm going to add up, if you look up here, these 3 numbers, okay? 35.42 plus 34.49. Maybe just copy this for now. It's just important that you see these 3 numbers. And that is 103.47. So make sure you clearly indicate your final answer. Okay? How much went towards the principal in the first 3 months? You have choices here. You add up these 3 numbers. Let's do that. That gives you 786.23. Anybody know how else we could have figured this number out? This is the total we paid them, total interest the bank took off. The difference between these two is what that should be. Okay, so or 890.70 minus 103.47, you still have 786.23, no matter how you do it. Okay, so I think it's very important that you know how to do these. So let's go to 38 and you try one. And you know what? It comes down to just knowing, just making sure you're careful not to make small little mistakes because they carry over quite a bit. So let's go to 38 here. I will save you the monthly payment, okay? That one, I wouldn't expect you to calculate that anyways when you make one from scratch. So just copy it. Payment is really 3,000 because that's what you borrow, that's the loan, times that's 2288. I got that from the table on page 32 as well. So your payment is 68.64 per month. You go ahead and plug this in here. The rest is what I'm more interested in. You filling in the rest of this table. Notice that I'm forgetting my dollar signs. I'm doing that on purpose, so make sure you have dollar signs there. I don't care what they look like as long as it looks like a dollar sign. So try to fill in the rest. I think what I will give you is, after a while, maybe just get started. I'll give you this number at the end of the second year. At the end of the second year, this number right here is supposed to be 2885. But make sure you actually get it. Don't just be like, look, I copied it. That's what I got, right? So do the first year and then do the second year and see if you can get that number for now, okay? Give it a try. Bring it if you're fine on your own. Are we doing there? You good there? Okay. One more line. Pay attention to what gets added or subtracted in this case, how you fill in the box, not necessarily just the formula here to figure out interest. Also just like, oh, okay, I subtract these two to get my principal. That's important as well. You notice that it's slight changes here, right? Because the amounts are so small, but they're important in this case, right? There we go. If you want the answers to B, C, D, and so forth, I'll just give you the numbers here. 22.28. This is 115. So interest, right? You just add up 2 months worth of interest, the first two. So I just added up these two to come up with that. And then principal, I just add up the first 2 months worth of principal to give me that. But the last one, E, how could you find that? What is it asking for? I'm going to zoom down just a little bit. E is asking for total interest. Like they're asking, hey, what's the total interest you would have paid over what? 4 years? That's 48 payments. We don't have that information on our table, but you have a formula to figure that one out. The total you can figure out using, you guessed it, TI is just payment, right, times 12 months, times in this case years, 4, right, minus the loan. So our payment is 68.64 times 12 times 4 years. My loan is $3,000. This is what I want to make sure you understand. This is the number that you use in front of your payment calculations right here. Whatever you get when you subtract the down payment, whatever you ultimately multiply by this bracket, this is your loan. Okay? So we subtract that, and I'll just give you what that amounts to. 3294. 72 minus 3,000. I think you can do mental math there. It's 294, 72. So it's not a whole lot, but keep in mind the loan was also not that big. Okay, it's only 3 grand. So you need me to go back to the table? Anybody? All right. I'll go over the quiz yet in a bit. I just want you to, can you go to 39 with me real quick? The bottom of 39. Bottom of page 39. Go there real quick. It's a partially filled in table. So this one is actually a lot easier, but you need to know how to work it. Okay? Go to 39. At the bottom there. This question right here. Hillary purchased a vehicle for $31,999. Right? You have to borrow $28,750 at 7% for 5 years. The table has been started for you. Complete the table below. So don't calculate the payment that's already there. You don't have to use the formula, right? So I will, if you go to 39 here, just write in partially filled table. This is actually one of the most popular ones when it comes to the province. They like this one. Okay. So how would you do this first row, like this first cell right here, what would you do to figure out this number here? Exactly. We just take this minus that, right? That's what we've been doing. So let's go ahead and do that. Minus 401.83. That is 28,000. That's a bit small, I know. 28,348.17. Okay. So that would get you a mark on a test or a quiz, just figuring this out. So it took the principal, subtracted it, bingo. Okay. Can we do it one more time? Like this one is empty here. Let's use the principal for the second month. You know how I did this, right? I use Excel. It calculates everything for me. I just go and delete certain cells, and you just gotta like backtrack. Okay. So we're gonna go minus 404.18. Subtract it one more time from this unpaid balance right here. And here we go. That's 27,943.99. Okay. So did the same thing here. What about this one? Oh yeah, Mr. Dirksen, you told us I is equal to loan times rate over 100 divided by 12. Don't do it when it's already basically filled in. How could we get this number using these two? Minus them, subtract them. Because we know that these two add up to that. Right? So if there's one blank here, let's just subtract these two and then we get that one. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. 569.54 minus 404.18. And here we go. That is 165.36. And you might say, well, Mr. Erickson, I have all the information here to do the I is equal to previous balance times rate. Yes, but this will usually not be there. It'll just be a table like that. You have to figure out what's going to happen to figure out the rest. Okay. One more. We know these two. Let's figure out that one. We've been doing that all along, right? Payment minus the interest gives you the principal. So let's go ahead and do that. I will just write in the number 406.53, and I will show the work outside here. Okay, I went 569.54 minus 163.01, right, to give me this. And guess what? We take this, subtract it one more time. To get 27,537.46. Go ahead. So your homework for amortization tables is just going to be page 39. You're like, we just did 39, Mr. Dirksen. There's one at the top that you haven't done yet. To page 40. 40 just has one question, one table. This is amortization tables.